What's up, Brock? See a few more people in here. Well, it is 9 p.m., so I'm going to go on ahead and get started. We got one viewer so far over here. Caleb Elkins. No, you're not first. Brock was first. I appreciate you all coming in. Big Barney Ross, thank you, sir. Will Levis, please stand up. Not sure that he can. Guys, what's going on? Rob Youngson, how are you doing this evening, sir? Funny story. Tonight, we'll be going at it solo. Time for some cake, chocolate cake. Absolutely. Love the chocolate cake. I'm here tonight. It's just me, Carolina Jackpot. It's the Carolina Jackpot call-in show representing the Oregon State Beavers. Megan, good evening. Got on my onesie tonight, so I'm really just kick back, chill out, and relaxed. Hey, you know what? At least one Rob showed up. That's right. I sent out the invite on Facebook for all the. I got 14 people in now. What's up, Zippy Zones, Dwayne Wicker, Tristan Smith? How you doing? Caleb is here. Stand up. All right, y'all. Shut off. This onesie. Well, let me see. I'll get back here behind the couch. Actually, maybe be able to see the whole thing. There you go. That's the best I can do. The couch blocks the view. But anyway, this thing is sexy. And if we got any female viewers tonight, guys, I can't take responsibility for what they may or may not do, or any kind of messages they may or may not send Carolina Jackpot after this. But we're going to do a little something different tonight. I'm just going to take chats from the comment section there. You can send Carolina Jackpot a super chat if you'd like to. It's a great way to support the show. If not, what's up with the Oregon State hat? It's my second favorite team, and I'm also supporting DJ Uyangale, number 5, the young man who was not developed at Clemson, who is probably going to throw for about 4,000 yards this year on those Pac-12 defenses that ain't going to know what hit them. Anyway, we'll take chats from the comment section, and I'll answer questions. We're calling it tonight Ask Jackpot Anything. So we'll talk sports, we'll talk life, we'll talk whatever you want to here for the next hour or so. And I'm really looking forward to this. We also, we've got a call-in line over here. If I knew how to chat myself here, I would. But this one's different. This is different than, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm technically challenged. And hell, I can't shut up. I can't pin a message to my chat here. But at any rate, because I ain't technically advanced like that. How the heck did I do that? There's some way I can do it. What do you think the point spread will be for Mississippi State at South Carolina? I'd say if South Carolina beats UNC and Furman handles business there, I would say probably South Carolina by -7, 6.5, 7. If South Carolina loses to North Carolina, and I don't know, who Mississippi State's first two opponents are, I'd say South Carolina -2.5, 3. They'd be a very short favorite, but probably a favorite nonetheless. That's not a slight at Mississippi State. I just don't, South Carolina is generally pretty tough at home. Of course, unless you're playing Mizzou or Clemson sometimes, or Texas A&M most years. Yeah, so we're really not that tough at home anymore. I don't know. But the phone number to call in, 864-490-4660. 864-490-4660. And, we'll have a little bit of call-in stuff here as well. First of all, since I am doing a live show, and this is, technically still the Rob and Kel show, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors. First of all, Dennis Wilson from DNC Trucking and Transport. Dennis usually has us do some fireside chats with Uncle Jackpot. We're not going to do that tonight, but Dennis Wilson at DNC Trucking and Transport, I'm just going to say his motto is, if we can't haul it, you don't need it. It says we'll haul them big, we'll haul them tall, we'll haul them small, we'll haul them fat, we'll haul them skinny, we'll haul all of that. Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Thank you, Brock Lee. Tell us the comment section 864-490-4660 if you'd like to join the program tonight and ask Jackpot a question. Also, Callaway Sports Bar and Grill over on Highway 1 in West Columbia with the largest Golden Tea Lounge in the Midlands of South Kakalaki. It's located diagonally across from the West Columbia Walmart, which is a good thing, guys, because if you go over there, you get drunk at Callaway's, you have, a few brewskis and toss you something back, and you got a little bit too much to drink in your system, and you're not able to get lucky with a young lady at the bar, well, you can head on over and have some more fun after the bar shuts down at the 24-hour Walmart by making fun of people. Yeah. That's always fun. And, hey, it's first of the month coming up soon. Actually, it's tomorrow. So that means that Walmart's going to be crunk. Callaway Sports Bar and Grill, West Columbia. All kidding aside, give them a try next time you're in the area. Big Barney Ross says South May 6th. South Carolina places Kentucky and Lexington in baseball. Bourbon all around. Yes, the Gamecocks had kind of a rough weekend in baseball this week. Did pull out a come-from-behind victory today against the Auburn Tigers, but, just absolutely just disgusting the last two games. And I get it. I know baseball is a game of streaks, and you'll have that in baseball. You'll have some bad plays, and it happens to everybody. It happens to every team, but I get a little bit agitated when our teams get on a national stage, they get themselves elevated up to a certain level, and then they just automatically just decide they're going to crap the bed. And it's crazy. Lisa says, where's Rob? Well, I'm going to explain it to y'all from what I heard, and it was secondhand. Rob does not have a voice. Sent me a text message probably about, I don't know, an hour and a half ago, no, 2 hours ago now. They didn't have a voice, and I'm like, you having a voice? And I got in touch with his wife, Karen, and it turns out that Friday night, Rob, she tried to hide the key to the liquor cabinet, and somehow or another he found it wherever she'd hidden it at, and he got into some of that Big Barney Ross bourbon and got to sipping on a little bit too much of it and got a little bit crazy. And long story short, he performed on a Frosty the Snowman stuffed animal, and it froze up his voice box, so he can't talk. So there's really no reason for him to be here. He can't talk. He's just going to be sitting over there on the screen while I run my mouth and say my stupid things. So no, Rob, y'all pray for him tonight, and pray that his wife is able to find another safe and secure location for that key, because he does not need access to that key. And he does definitely not need access to that cabinet. Thank you for the answer. You're welcome. You're welcome. Always. Yeah, I don't like to divulge people's personal business, but you asked. Blame Big Barney Ross. Nobody blamed you, sir. I was just identifying that bourbon. If it had been bourbon that was sent to him from me, I'd call it that Carolina Jackpot bourbon. Just identifying the bourbon. Don't play victim here. At any rate, Clemson's baseball team this weekend takes two out of three on the road at Boston College, who is actually a ranked team. As we know, according to Big Barney Ross, Boston College is overrated, not just at football. Where do you think Spencer is going to in the NFL draft next year? You talk about what team? I mean, I'd have no clue. Where is he going? I mean, the guy has the talent and he has the ability to be a first rounder. Now, does he have it up here? And is that going to connect with him physically this year? I don't know. I don't know if not, he's going to slip down second or third round. But even if he has, a bad year where he throws, even if he throws, let's say he throws 20 touchdowns and 12 picks, somebody's still going to take him because he does have that talent. They're going to say he's not developed. Shout out to Will Muschamp for developing the talent to put 25 players in the draft. Hey, I've always said it, and Uncle Lou says it sometimes too. Will Muschamp's a brilliant defensive mind, but he is a terrible head coach. That's how that happens to people. Jeremy Pruitt was a pretty good defensive coordinator. He was a terrible head coach and was terrible, obviously, at running a program too. At least Will Muschamp wasn't cheating. He was just he lost. He lost honestly, I guess. There's Rob. It says voice is shot. Sorry, gentlemen. Thanks, Rob. Already filled them all in on what happened, buddy, and they're praying for you. Okay. Maybe praying for your wife a little more than you, but they are praying for you. Glory Hole Sanders at it again. He says, I found the lone BC fan on Twitter and trolled him instead of studying for finals. Productive weekend for me. Sir, I believe I've been studying for finals if I were you. The Indianapolis Colts select Vince Young 2.0 in the first round. Yeah. Yeah, he was, Vince Young. Is this sponsor chopped liver? Pray the gay away. Pruitt just did what he did at Bama. He couldn't get away with it in Tennessee. That's fair to say. Tristan says Anthony Richardson is going to be a bust. I don't know. He has physical tools, but here's my thing. These guys with these measurables and, all this stuff, all this arm strength, they wow you with their athleticism. The thing is, they didn't do any of this in college. They did none of this in college. They showed no ability to do anything against the defense with a pulse. Yeah, I know Anthony Richardson ran all over the Gamecocks. Wow. He had one good game against Tennessee. Wow. What did he do against Georgia? What did he do against an LSU or any of these teams worth of salt? He just didn't. He didn't. So I don't know. I don't get it. Very pissed with Will Levis' draft for my Titans. Yeah, well, you should be. I saw just on Facebook just a bit ago that you all got a deal approved for a new stadium. So that's pretty neat. It says it's going to be the most expensive stadium ever. What's up, Rec Talk? Papa B says Anthony Richardson cost Mullen his job. I think there was a lot of factors that that contributed to that. I think Dan Mullen was just silly there at the end. You remember that? It was just silly. You remember the South Carolina game was the last game he coached. South Carolina has had the distinction of getting two Florida coaches fired with upset victories over them. Will Muschamp in 2014. Hell, I wish we'd have lost that game so he could have kept his job. Maybe we wouldn't end up hiring the sorry son of a bitch. And then Dan Mullen. Absolutely nuts. Did we get Ron Zook fired? No, I think we lost to him. Yeah, but that's the way it goes, I guess. Dan Mullen was just really silly. His last few weeks in in Gainesville. If y'all remember the press conference he was given before the South Carolina game, they're just like, what are y'all gonna do? And they were like a 3-touchdown favorite. He's like, guess we're gonna get on a plane and we're gonna go play South Carolina. Yeah, they're a real good team. And then we'll talk about recruiting when it's recruiting season. I mean, it's just kind of like whatever. And then he shut the press conference down after like 2 seconds. Just real clown acts. And then the Darth Vader costume he wore after the Mizzou game. What was up with that? Ducks COOO says thoughts on Oregon for the upcoming season. I mean, I think that'll be pretty good. Bo Nix, probably, I don't know. Bo Nix, I would think, is the second best. On paper right now, the second best quarterback in the Pac-12. DJ Uyunglele may take that distinction away from him. I think Caleb Williams is the front runner there, but they play some tough competition. Or my dog sounds like he's dying over there. Washington has been on the come up for a couple of years, and the Beef is definitely a team on the come up. Had a good season last year, so Oregon is used to really not having a whole lot of competition over in that Pac-12 North Division, which I guess that's going away. I don't know. Everybody seems to be getting rid of their divisions, and this is really the last year you play USC and UCLA. Both of those are leaving. So I think Oregon has a chance to be a top 10 team. I don't really think that they probably have the goodies, especially defensively, to be a playoff contender, but I think they'll be a top 10 team for sure. Who do you think will have faster success, Deion Sanders or Hugh Freeze? Hugh Freeze, easily. Because, I mean, Deion's, I don't think the guy is going to have the Jimmies and Joes on the line of scrimmage. And Hugh Freeze has shown the ability to turn programs around pretty quickly. And Auburn has some talent there. So, I don't think it's much of a stretch. I think, and this, you heard this from me first, I guess. I think they're going to surprise some people this year. I think they'll surprise some people. They may make a bowl game. They're not going to do a lot more than that, but I could see a 7-5 team. Do you like any picks your Jets picked up? Yeah. I mean, I like that quarterback they traded for, I guess, even though they had to give up a lot to get him. That's kind of laying a cornerstone there of the program. So, yeah. Who are you liking for defensive line coach? Well, they're saying Travian Robertson wants to come back to South Carolina. Beamer wants him, so go get him. I mean, he's at Tulane right now. I know little to nothing about how Tulane's defense performed last year. I know they gave up a shitload of points in that Cotton Bowl against USC, but they ended up winning the game, which is understandable. They were playing a Power 5 team, and they ain't. But Tulane's defense was good. That's right. You plan on buying any preseason college football magazines? Yeah. I always get the Phil Steele magazine. It comes out around, I think last year it came out around July the 4th, maybe a little after that. Funny story, I was working in Lumberton, North Carolina during that time, and I actually drove. You had to go to Fayetteville, North Carolina, to find a Barnes & Noble. That's the place that got those magazines first. And I was about 40 miles from Lumberton, but by God, I was going to go get me one. And I found the Barnes & Noble. I was shocked there was a Barnes & Noble in Fayetteville. Because I didn't know there was that many people there that could read. The place looked kind of slow. I think there's like 12 people there that know how to do so. But, yeah, they put a Barnes & Noble there. I'm just kidding. No disrespect to the military. I know there's, you got Fort Bragg and Fayetteville, but Fayetteville is a dump if anybody's ever been there. They call it Fayette Nom, and the place is scary. Was I alive to remember Joe Namath? I mean, not playing, no. Rush defense gave up 150 yards a game, says Gamecock Chuck. Yeah, we were about 100th. both seasons. Am I buying the Florida State hype? No, I'm not, because look at what they did in the middle of the season. Tristan said he lived in Fayetteville for a year. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, for a year. Where'd you live at? A hotel? You were there for a year. I don't think you experienced it all. There's some rough places there, sir. But there's rough places everywhere. So I'm sure Fayetteville's got a nice part to it. I've just never been able to find it, or elsewise didn't look hard enough. You graduate from USC next weekend, says Brightly. Congratulations. Let's give him a round of applause. Y'all give him a congratulations. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you're doing so well, sir. I do appreciate that you coming on here and sharing that with us, and not wanting to get congratulations for it. You just shared it so that we would know, and I do thank you for getting on here. It's good to get someone on here with some intelligence that can rival mine. I'm just kidding. But anyway, no, I'm not buying the Florida State hype. They lost the 3 games in the middle of the season last year against the best teams that they played on the schedule: Clemson, Wake Forest, and NC State. Kind of fluky win against LSU too. So I don't know. Do I fish or hunt? Good evening, Carolina Jackpot time. Checking in. What you got for the program?
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. I got a quick question for you, and I'll get off here. Now, how does this make you feel? The entire state of Tennessee is going to have to root for Will Levis, Kentucky's quarterback, wearing blue and white. They're going to have to actually go out there and go big blue with Will Levis. How does that make you feel? This is Big Barney Ross. You think about it. I'm out of here.
I don't know, Tennessee fans. Let me know what you think about that. I think it's comical. I guess it's comical that you people are going to have to root for him. But no, here's one thing too. Here's another thing. Here's the thing. How many Tennessee Vol fans? How many of you guys are really are Tennessee Titan fans? Because depending on where you're at in the state of Tennessee, it's actually closer to Charlotte than it is to Nashville. And that's the home of the Carolina Panthers also, and in addition to that as well, you could also be closer to Atlanta, depending on if you're in a really southern part of Tennessee. Over near Chattanooga, you can be closer to Atlanta than you are to Nashville. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And are the Tennessee Titans? Did a lot of the old Houston Oilers fans start pulling for the Tennessee Titans? Do you think you've got a fan base presence in Texas? I don't know. I just wonder about stuff like that. South Mississippi roots for the Saints. North Mississippi roots for the Titans. That makes sense. It makes sense. I rooted for the Panthers too. I mean, I pulled for the Panthers too. The Jets thing is just from me going and visiting New York City a lot, and over the past 7-8 years, and just kind of just falling in love with some of the stuff there and some of the culture. And somebody asked me one time, said, "Well, who did you pull for before the Panthers became a team?" I said, "I guess I pulled for the Falcons." They're like, "Well, why don't you still pull for them? Why would you give up on your team like that?" I'm like, "Dude, it ain't that deep. Just stop." I'm a college football guy anyway. So, Mayhem Matthew says, "What is up, Jackie Potty? What is up, Mayhem Matthew?" The Eagles love some UGA players. Yeah, they do. The Panthers are the only franchise that hasn't drafted a Clemson player. We're their first home, and this is how they repay us. Yeah, it's kind of strange. It definitely is. I know at one time they had a little Clemson tiger paw painted in the corner of the end zone there at our home away from home, Bank of America Stadium. I I don't know if it's still there or not, but that's just strange. I mean, I think it's probably just a coincidence, probably just a coinky dink. It's just not a fit, just not a fit. So Clemson fans tend to get upset about things that really aren't worth getting upset about. I mean, these dudes are getting drafted. They're getting paid, and they getting their chance in the league. You got a lot of players in the league. And besides, I mean, you really want to play with the Panthers? I mean, the Panthers blow ass, man. I mean, they're terrible, terrible. You should want for them to draft Gamecocks so that they can play on a losing team. Where's my co-host Ziggy at? Where is that boy? Ziggy, come here. Come here, buddy. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't like it when he sees me do this setup with the iPad, with the phone, and all that. I think he connotates that with yelling because he knows that when I put this out, we're going to start. I'm going to start talking to people and start yelling, and he gets a little bit nervous when he sees it. So come on, everybody. Once again, the call-in number is 864-490-4660. 864-490-4660. He wants a pizza roll from me. Come here. Come here. Come here. These are not my pizza rolls. But come here. But the wife knows I want Jiggy to come on camera. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Finger may get taken off by a rogue pizza roll. What's up, Battle Angel? How you doing tonight? Brock Lee says, not trying to completely shit on Brian Brzee, but I don't really get why he's drafted in the first round. I don't think that guy played / showed enough to warrant being a first round pick. Now that's true. And to that point, that guy had some problems. Good evening, Carolina Jackpot time. Checking in.
How's it going, Jackpot's Bluegrass Sports Media?
Hey, what's going on tonight?
I saw a video on the internet of Tennessee fans bitching because the Titans didn't pick in Hooker. I don't understand why they would pick a 40-year-old guy with a torn ACL over the guy who's supposed to be the 4th overall pick in the draft. I don't understand why people are bitching about this. It's completely ridiculous. You pick a guy that played in a gimmick-ass offense, or you want to pick a guy that played in the actual pro offense and has all the intangibles to be a good NFL quarterback.
Wow, Bluegrass Sports Media coming in hot. I really don't know what to say to that. Now, Hendon Hooker did tear his ACL, but if you'll remember, Deshaun Watson tore his ACL his freshman year at Clemson. And then at the end of the season, he put a brace on it, and he kicked Gamecock ass with one leg.
Yeah, well,
he was a little bit younger than what Hendon Hooker is at this point. He was probably 18 years old to Hendon's. Let's come on, he's 25. He's not 40, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, 25, right? Like, with some of the way he plays, he's a more mobile guy anyway. How long do you have to play in the NFL? Because you're gonna take hits. You already have an injury history in the past, and I mean, obviously, he put up numbers at Tennessee. Everyone's going to put up numbers at Tennessee. Joe Milton's going to put up numbers at Tennessee this year. I think Tennessee fans are overreacting with Will Levis. Will Levis is going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Well, here's the thing. And talking about Tennessee and Joe Milton putting up numbers and this and that, do you think that there is anything to, just more and more teams, more and more coaches, more and more coaching staffs getting more and more of this offense on tape, and it being less of a surprise and now more something that can be game planned for than it has been in the past. Do you think there's any truth? Do you agree with that?
So I do to a certain extent. I think Georgia and South Carolina showed you the game plan on how to beat them. You have to man up your corners outside and play man coverage. But the problem is, a lot of people don't have man corners. I mean, the bigger schools are Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina to a certain extent. I don't know how you guys keep getting all these damn corners. They're going to have the guys to man them up. Kentucky, we're heavy zone scheme, so we don't have guys that play a lot of man coverage. So it's going to be kind of if you have the guys to do it, you're going to be able to hold them to 30 points. But if you don't, you're not going to. So I think if they fit the higher end schools will beat Tennessee. But the people who have to recruit at the level of the Kentuckys, Vandy's, Missouris, they're not going to be able to play man coverage, so they got to figure out another way to combat that offense.
Yeah, which could be putting pressure on the quarterback, and I just don't think they can get enough pressure on the quarterback quick enough to be effective doing that.
Yeah, it's a dilemma. Like, those splits are so wide for the receivers, it puts your corners and your safeties out there basically on an island. Where if you don't have the guys that can run with them, a guy like Jalen Hyatt or even a Thornton guy they got from Oregon now, like it's going to be very hard to stop that offense if you don't have the guys that can run with them.
Agreed. So hopefully we get some more teams with some corners that we don't know about. I think South kind of caught some people off guard last year with that, which. It really shouldn't have been a surprise. Cam Smith and Darius Rush were really, really good players. And the answer how we keep getting good corners. These guys, unfortunately, those were Will Muschamp recruits. He's not there anymore. But South Carolina is still recruiting at a higher level than they were when he was there. Now, this 2024 class has a ton of offensive line talent on it, which we sorely need. Hopefully they're not neglecting any of those other positions as well.
Yeah, and I think Tennessee's going to take a hit with the new rule change because the rule change where the clock runs after first down, that's going to shorten the game a lot, which gives them a lot less possessions. And if you're a team like a Kentucky was 2 years ago where you can run the football and slow the game down, you can take even more time off the clock now because the clock doesn't stop on first downs.
Right. Yep. So a team like Kentucky, who generally grinds the ball out a little bit, it's probably gonna be a little bit better. How's old Kentucky looking this year? What do you think about the old offensive coordinator coming back for a do-over after letting old Rich Scangarello have his walking papers after last season? How do you think that offense is going to look?
So, I think the offense is going to go as every offense goes by the offensive line. We took a big step down last year, and we lost, I think, 3 guys to the NFL off the offensive line from Khalil Cohen's first year, and losing a running back like Chris Rodriguez. If the line, they just picked up a big tackle in the portal. If they can patch that line together where it's not, it doesn't have to be where it was with Benny Snell and Chris Rodriguez with Liam Cohen's first year and the Benny Snell offenses of the past. But if it's serviceable with the way Cohen calls plays, I think he's a top 3 coordinator in the SEC, and I'm not being biased by that because I
I mean, if you're good enough for Sean McVay to turn over to hire you as an offensive coordinator, you're pretty good. But I just wonder how the offensive line holds up. And really, I think we're going to be more of a throw-first team this year because we're returning a lot of experience in the offensive line. But the thing is, you're returning a lot of experience that played like shit last year. So, and you didn't turn over a new offensive line coach. So, because Yenzler's a Liam Cohen guy, so we'll see how the offensive line. We're going to go as the offensive line goes. Defensively, I think Kentucky's just as good, if not better, than they were last year. A guy that everyone's going to know about at this time next year is Deion Walker. Deion Walker's he's a 360-pound defensive tackle that during the spring nobody could block on Kentucky. That's not saying I will block because we're bad up front, but I think he's going to wreak havoc against a lot of teams.
He was there last year, right?
Yeah, he's a true freshman last year.
Yeah, I remember him. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they're improved a little bit this year. If Kentucky has another mediocre season like they did last year, or, God forbid, has a losing season, is Mark Stoops on the hot seat? Or does he get a pass?
Mark Stoops could go 1-11. I would say keep him.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, like, people don't realize, and I think some of the Kentucky fans don't even realize, we were Vanderbilt in 2013. We were what Vanderbilt is today, or not even today, they're better today. We were what Vanderbilt was when, what's his name, took over in 2013. We were like literally a bad football team that was losing to some MAC schools. And he got us to where we had 10-win seasons and things like that. And when that happens, people up their expectations, but they got to realize that we're still Kentucky, and I get excited sometimes and think we're going to win a lot too, but you're so behind the eight ball here in Kentucky. The job he's done is phenomenal. I don't know if there's another coach in the country that could have done what he's done so far.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough job. But look, I appreciate you calling in tonight. I'm gonna move on, pivot to something else. But good luck to your Kentucky Wildcats this season, except for when they play the Gamecocks.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bluegrass Sports Media, the Kentucky man. Let me try to catch up here on some chats and see if we've got anything so far in. Let's see here. By the way, Big Barney Ross, thank you for the super chat, sir. Clemson isn't copying Tennessee's offense, but they are. Your quarterback said they were, so I really don't understand at all the spring game deal where Dabo wasn't letting Garrett Riley call plays. What's up, sir, UGA? That makes no sense to me. The guy wasn't calling plays, so there's really no sense in having a spring game, in my opinion. If you're just gonna you're gonna run a bunch of scout team stuff that's not even a real practice, really, because if you're practicing offense, you practice the offense that you're running. So just nuts. So they'd be able to run tempo similar to Tennessee's offense. The scheme is completely different. Okay. Well, we'll see. We do know, and I believe that Clemson's offense will be improved this year. I don't see how it can't. The only issue that I can see there is they don't really have any receivers. Bright Lee says, how about Cam Smith going the second round instead of the first? That is weird, but then again, Will Levis was predicted to go in the first round, and he didn't. So, who knows, man? There are some people, and when y'all are watching the NFL draft, you're just like me. It's just like when that guy from Illinois, sir, UGA, thank you for the $10 cash app, sir. We appreciate that. Thank you for helping to support the show. He says, Go Dogs, and the cock will always something or another. I'll get back to that later, and I appreciate you. Um, yeah, Will Levis was supposed to go in the first round too, and he didn't. But like the guy from Northwestern who got drafted, and then like the guy from Illinois who got drafted there in the first round. I mean, y'all just like me. Y'all are just like looking at that like who? You don't know because like I watched one Illinois game last year. Watched them play Michigan. I wasn't watching a whole lot of their games to study up on some of these people. Um, and that's just how that is. But some of these guys, kind of they kind of surprise you a little bit. Am I going to the Tennessee South Carolina game this year? Probably not, unless someone I don't know, unless someone provides me with ticket and accommodations. I'm not sitting here begging either, but I don't know. My only thing about it is during the season. And you might think that, hey, he just does that because, hey, he's just a big old drunk. He likes to sit there and drink his beer and cuss and watch college football and act a fool. But the thing about it is, I really enjoy live streaming those games during the season. And if I come to a game, it takes away my ability to live stream. And I went to Vanderbilt last year, and that was a lot of fun. Wouldn't it be funny if the first bus that goes around the Clemson Stadium before the game broke down, the game had to be delayed so the team could walk around the stadium? Yeah, they're silly over there. I mean, it makes no sense to me. And with all the they're supposed to be such a good school for engineering and architecture and all this. Why can't somebody figure out a way to get a tunnel to get to the top of the hill to run down it so we don't have to ride that stinking bus around? I mean, that just seems like, it just seems like a cumbersome event and just distracting. It just seems silly. Just seems silly. Hoghead said he used to love going to games, not that much anymore. I don't either. And one of the reasons I don't like going to games anymore is because I'm really into, and I'm kind of like a lot of you all. I'm kind of like an Uncle Lou type. Not only do I enjoy watching my team play, the Gamecocks, I enjoy watching everybody else play. And I can't do that if I'm going to the games. Hunter Slay says, "What's up, Jackpot? What is up, Hunter Slay? Nice to see you here once again. Long time no see, sir. Thank you for participating and coming on the show this evening. Even the Gators. Yeah, even the Gators. I mean, I watch the Gators games when they're playing. I've got a 3 TV setup here. I don't have 3 TVs in my living room. When it's football season on Saturdays, I drag all 2 from other rooms in here to the living room, and I have the big setup. I have the big setup outside on the back deck too, like the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season when it's warm out there, and you can do that. But it's been a minute. He says life happens. This is true. I concur. What's your favorite Gamecock win of all time? I really enjoyed. You're gonna think this is silly. There's been several. I mean, there's been many. I mean, you have to kind of divide them up into games I've been to and games that I just watched on TV. But games I've been to, probably one that was my favorite of all time. And these are old games too, but games that I attended as a kid. 1987, when South Carolina beat Clemson 20-7 at home on a very, very, very cold November night in Williams-Brice Stadium, with a team dressed in all black known as the Black Death. That beat Clemson. Clemson was ranked like number 6. South Carolina was ranked like number 8. and we beat them 27. That was a great one. Also, 1988, South Carolina was ranked highly. They took on Georgia, came to Williams-Brice Stadium for a 1 o'clock game. It was televised on TBS. But y'all remember when SEC games used to get televised on TBS? Well, this was before South Carolina was in the SEC. But, I mean, we just absolutely laid the wood on their ass. We were up 28-3. Had a freshman receiver named Robert Brooks from Greenwood, South Carolina. I think some of y'all heard of him. He played for the Green Bay Packers for a number of years. Who caught a one-handed touchdown over the top of a UGA defender early on in that game to kind of set off the rout. That was another game. It was a favorite one of mine. When I was really young, too, 1984, South Carolina was undefeated at 8-0 and took on Florida State, who was also, I think, had lost one game at home. South Carolina beat them 38-26. We're actually up on them 38-7 going into the fourth quarter. Favorite non-Gamecock game I've watched. Just enjoyed as a fan of college football. Man, I don't. There have been so many of them. As far as in the modern era of the playoff games, the 2018 or 2017 season, 2018 year, 2018 is when it happened. The national championship game, Alabama versus Georgia. And that was a pretty thrilling national championship game that kind of came down to the last second there. That was a good one. I also enjoyed that year the Georgia Oklahoma first round playoff game. What was it, like 45-42? That one was a real barn burner too. The Clemson Alabama game in 2016 at the end of that season, what Clemson won there with a touchdown pass on the last play of the game was a barn burner too. But I couldn't pick that one. That one was just looking disgusting. The 9-6 game, Bama LSU, the Honey Badger, was App State versus Michigan. Yeah, that one was that even on TV? I'm sure it was. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. But, that's funny that UGA was involved in two of the better games that I've seen in the past, 10 years or so. But it's true. Oh, it's true. Questions or comments over there in the comments section. Let's see. Curry's advisor said he tried to tell the Sequavius Bennett detractors who'd get drafted in the 6th or 7th round, and he went in the 4th round. Yes. Who did he go to? Who did he go to? Was it hot today in South Carolina? Nah, it was mild today. I was actually in Georgia today. To be honest, I went to the Tanger Outlet Mall in Commerce, Georgia. That's a little over an hour away from here. And ate at a Mexican restaurant down there. And I actually ended up, he put into the Rams. Okay, I actually ended up getting the bubble guts from that Mexican restaurant. And it was overpriced. And really didn't bring me enough food. Which, I mean, if I got the bubble guts, I didn't need to be eating any more food, but what I have made me kind of sick. Tanger Outlets, he's been there. It was very windy. Where's the next food tasting video? I don't know. Soon. It was windy in South Carolina today. Had two ferns out here on the front porch, and one of them got blown. It was like I looked and there was a fern flying through the air. And it just went over there and it went up into the yard and it just went, doom, and it just dropped. I was like, shit, now I'm going to have to go get me a new fern. And things are not cheap. What was once a $10 fern has now become a $14 fern due to inflation. It was windy outside Athens. Yeah, I mean, that's basically where I was at. I actually made it down south far enough. I was actually at the Ingles in Commerce, Georgia, the big store up there on the hill, which is kind of weird. You get on that bypass, it kind of goes around Commerce and it goes towards Athens. Ain't nothing out there. You go for like 7 or 8 miles from the interstate, boom, and here's a big Ingles out here in the middle of the field. I was looking for the new Mountain Dew Summer Breeze Zero. I thought maybe they may have it there because their Pepsi comes from a different distributor than what it does here in the upstate of South Carolina, but there was no Zero. Tell us something we don't know about you. A special hobby. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do I collect anything? I used to, and I'm trying to still find time to get back into it. This goes into collecting and hobby, digging for old bottles. Yeah, I used to have a whole bunch of old dumps scattered around about the woods near where I grew up at. And now, since I'm all grown up, I got to find different places to go. But yeah, I always enjoy looking and digging for old bottles. I'm talking old turn of the century stuff. Yeah. Brock Lee said haven't had the Zero Summer Breeze. I haven't either. I can't find it. I know that they're going to make it, or either they are making it. I just can't find it. But I have had the regular one too, and it was very good. But I don't drink drinks that aren't diet or zero. So, but the one was very good. If you've ever watched Badlands Chugs, I'm not sure if you all know who that is, but Badlands Chugs actually shotgunned one. Yesterday. He's got some kind of little apparatus that he actually sticks into the can, pops it open, shotguns it, so it tasted like a bomb pop. If you remember, that's exactly how I described it in my video. It tastes like one of those old red, white, and blue pops that you used to get back in the day. It was very, very good. Stop tearing your bed up. Hey, Ziggy, stop tearing your bed up. I think this is a sign that he's bored. What's your favorite Mountain Dew flavors outside of the regular flavor? I like Mountain Dew Code Red. They used to have a Diet Mountain Dew Code Red, and they don't have that anymore. The Baja Blast is good. That's about it. I didn't like the Live Wire. Thought that was nasty. Last year, what was it, like the Spark or the Shock or whatever it was? It was the raspberry flavored one. That was like kind of a raspberry lemonade flavored one. That one was good. B Bean says, "What did you want to be when you were a child?" One time, I wanted to be a radio announcer. I wanted to be a play-by-play person and do college football or basketball or just whatever. I enjoyed sports and calling games and doing all that, but I don't know what happened. Life got in the way. Then at one point, for a fleeting moment, I wanted to be a dentist. And then at one point also, for a fleeting moment, I wanted to be a high school history teacher and football coach. What's your favorite scary movie? I don't know. That's all. Hey, stop. I don't really get into scary movies, so I don't watch it. But I do like a lot of true crime stuff, so I guess in that realm, I kind of am into scary, weird things, but not so much that. Got to be one of the original Halloween movie. Yeah, that was pretty. That one was pretty interesting. For sure. What are you doing? God, this dog is over here tearing his bed up, people. I mean, he just goes over there and he starts going ham on his dog bed. I don't know why. He hasn't done that in forever. Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, those were definitely scary. It wasn't a scary movie. I thought that Sling Blade was a good movie. It was weird, but it was a good movie. Who was your childhood crush? Famous person. Funny thing, when I was a kid, when I was like, I don't know, when I was like 9 or 10 years old, I had the hots for I had the hots for Blair from The Facts of Life. That's that's pretty damn. I also had the hots for Mallory from what is it? Family Ties. Yes, Daisy Duke was. Blair from Facts of Life. Good. Well, she was. She was hot back in the day. Yeah, she actually, I saw they had like a reunion of some sorts on there. It's all on YouTube, and she still looks pretty good, man. Still looks pretty good. What's she like, 60 now? Will Clemson do the fake huddle handoff this season? I don't know. I hope they don't. That was in the circle jerk thing they did. Hopefully they do it again and the same result. What was my first job? First job was at Winn-Dixie. I was started bagging groceries when I was 16 years old in 1991, and I ended up staying there until 2005. Closed the doors on the store in Union, South Carolina when we filed for bankruptcy, and we pulled out of North and South Carolina. So, yeah, I was a bag boy, and I worked all the way up to store manager. And I managed 3 locations for them, so those are some good times. And I'd probably still work for Winn-Dixie to this day if that hadn't happened. I had no reason to leave, but they had a reason to leave here. They had some financial problems, man, and from what I understand, they're still not on really level ground. The company that they are now, Southeastern Grocers, is not even listed on the New York Stock Exchange, which is troubling. At least Sarah Hogan says Union, South Carolina is a cesspool. It's not. Listen, what was your impression of Brock Bowers against South Carolina last year? I think he kicked our face in like pretty much everybody on Georgia's roster did. You have a good evening there, Bo Hunting. Yeah, he looked pretty good. I mean, he didn't have to do a lot against South Carolina. I don't think there's any way that we go out there this year and repeat that performance. There is just no way that that we play that badly against them 2 years in a row. Stop. Stop it. What's the nicest thing someone has done for you? Man, I don't know. That's a hard one there. I don't know. A lot of things over the years. You just can't. I don't know how you would weight them all out. Do I drink the milk in the cereal bowl? Yes, when it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. What college coach is most like the head coach from Varsity Blues? Probably Nick Saban. Or talking about just hard nosed type people. Probably Nick Saban, man. I'd have to say I don't know of anybody else that's Yeah, Urban, if he was still coaching the college game. Mike Gundy, I don't know. He seems to be laid back, but maybe he's not. Dion, why did I choose to deliver Utz over Doritos? Well, the guy from that owns the Utz routes called me. Frito Lay, if you'll remember, I tried to get a job with them probably about 3 years ago, and I couldn't pass their little computer test for whatever reason. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I've been a store manager in multiple places for multiple numbers of years, and this stupid computer test fails me. So yeah, whatever. Screw Frito Lay. They are our enemy right now, and they're the competition. And it's a war out there. It's a war every day, and we're David, and they're definitely Goliath. But I'm telling you, I'm ready to meet them head on. I ain't scared of them. Not scared of your sun chips. Am I a hunter? No, I'm not. I don't hunt. I have fished in the past, but I haven't been in years. I haven't been golfing in a while either, but I need to get back into it. I actually enjoy golfing. G. Driggers, have I ever thought of moving to Winsboro, South Carolina? No. But reviving the town, it's 30 miles from Columbia. I know where it's at. I've been there before. I actually went and helped out in the Roses Express store there, and kind of helped them get cleaned up a couple of times back in 2021. Um, that's another one of that's just another one of those towns in South Carolina that's fell victim to the textile industry left it, and people have been left to pick up the pieces, and they haven't been able to do it. Kind of like Lawrence, South Carolina, and like we're talking about Lawrence, South Carolina, Union, Clinton. A lot of these towns like that have just not been able to, get any kind of industry or anything like that going since the textile mills are shut down, and there's just a lot of poverty, and it's just kind of a sad state of affairs in a lot of them. Am I still considering moving to Pennsylvania? Yes. Oh, yeah. Still definitely considering that. It's just, a thing right now of, what would I do for work? I'd find something to do. But yeah, definitely still looking into that. I love Pennsylvania. What are you doing, Buggy? What are you doing? Look at him. Look at that. Hey, buddy. Hey, there. UT's long snapper in 1998 was from Union, South Carolina. I think the Gamecocks had a long snapper from Union, South Carolina, too, if I'm not mistaken. What does Mrs. Jackpot do? She's the manager of the Burlington store. The Burlington, they call it Burlington Coat Factory, but it's actually more just like Ross or one of those discount clothing retailers here in Greenville, South Kakalaki. So, yeah. Hey, buddy. No. She used to manage a Ross store in Greenville, and then she went with Burlington. So she works hard and works a good many hours, and she's asleep right now. She has to get up pretty early. Graduated from Lockhart. Yeah, Lockhart. I actually. Do I have it or still? Hold on a second. Do they have what? Burlington in Pennsylvania? Yes. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can find something in my closet real quick. I swear it won't take long. If I can't find it real quick. I knew I could. I told you I used to manage the Winn-Dixie store in Union, South Carolina. And back when I was there in 2004, 2003, 2004, 2005, Union County had 3 high schools. They had Union, Jonesville, and Lockhart. But now they just have Union, the same high school. They closed up Jonesville and Lockhart, and they just have the one Union Comprehensive High or whatever. But anyway, you said Lockhart, and we had a little display of football stuff up there with some jersey stuff that we had gotten from those schools. And I took this when we closed the store down and kept that. But yeah, that's from the early 2000s. It's probably one of the last teams I had there. Whoever number 56 was for the Lockhart Red Devils, I got his jersey. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But I've kept that for all these years. What county are you in? You're in the Lexington, Columbia area. You're asking me? Oh yeah. No. I live in Simpsonville, South Carolina. I know Beverly Harris. Not sure. How did you meet your wife? Actually online on a dating site. Yeah. I mean, we've been together for 11 years. But yep, sure did. Yeah, I was married once before too. That didn't work out. That's Jackpot Jr.'s mother. You said Anderson is better than here? I'm not so sure about that. Have I been to Columbia much? Yes, a lot of people. Black people meet. Yep, that's where we met. That's where we met. Yep, she's black. There's nothing wrong with that. She's African American, and I am not. I'm just kidding. We're silly. We didn't meet at farmersonly.com either. I told her, I said, the age I'm getting right now, I said, if I had to find somebody else online, I'd have to go to silversingles.com. Is that the thing? That is the thing. Silver Singles. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this evening. Poor old Rob couldn't be with us. I'm gonna give him a talking to again and make sure that he's good with that and staying away from those Frosty the Snowman dolls, because nothing good can come out of it, and nothing good comes out of that liquor cabinet. So hopefully we don't have these same issues again, and we can go back and forth with our banter like we normally do, because those are the best shows that they are. Yeah, it was a good question asked. Yeah, I should. Yeah, we'll do that again sometime when he lays out again. I'm just kidding. He couldn't help it. All right, gang. I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. Hit this thing with a thumbs up on the way out the door. if you don't mind. It helps the show out a lot when you do that. And I'll see you guys later on. Peace. I'm out of here. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll catch y'all on the next. See you later. Peace. I'm out.